time, queer time, queer time, queer times.
Kristen.
Hi, Harrison.
Hi, Kristen. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Queer Times. I'm Kristen Becker.
And I'm Harrison Fish. How are
I'm
you?
coming
You're
to you
not in
live.
Provincetown.
No, I'm in an attic in Buffalo because my sister had a little surgery. Everything's good. Everything's great. She's gonna be better for it. So I came to play nurse. I don't have the little outfit or anything, but yeah. So I'm hanging out in Buffalo in what is the most typical smoking attic that could ever exist. There's a gaming station up here, and when my nephews and my niece were younger, this would be. And now my niece, who is older, I smoke weed with her up here
Work.
when I'm visiting. And so I'm in that space, which is better lit than I expected. I was like, oh, it's going to be so dark. And then I was like, oh, look at all these windows. All right.
Yeah,
I've
you
always
look
been
great.
high when I'm up here. And
Like this.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I would be remiss if I did not say immediately, Happy Lesbian Visibility Week, Harrison.
I love my lesbians visible.
The running joke in P-Town right now is that it's Lesbian Visibility Week, and I disappeared. Just like
The most visible
town.
Provincetown lesbian.
Well, I do all the heavy lifting the rest of the year, so I take this week off.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Nice,
that's not true.
nice.
I will be back there in a couple days, and we're gonna do Star-Crossed, the astrology dating game show that I do with KT. We're gonna do Lesbo Bingo. There's all sorts of really fun events happening in Provincetown this week and this weekend. So as you're listening to this on Wednesday, know that you can hightail it up to, why am I whistling a lot today? Hightail it over to P-Town and hang out and be visible with the other lesbians who are being visible. I have to give a shout out to Tracy for putting it together, and it's fun. It's it'd be lots of lesbian themed events. As I mentioned, there will be bingo, there will be pillow princesses that Marissa's doing. There's panels and a Vixen reboot. I don't know if you're familiar with the Vixen, but it was the lesbian bar at
I've
Pilgrim
heard
House.
legend.
Yeah, and so they're doing a
That's
reboot of that,
amazing.
which will be fun. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So the women will be out in P-Town. Come make some new friends or just get finger blasted or whatever,
You could do both. You could multitask.
Yeah, you're right. That's why we have two hands.
I love Lesbian Visibility Week. It's kind of a new event. It was started by, correct me if I'm wrong, by the organizers of Curve Magazine, along with some other organizers. Just a couple of years old. And they really wanted to launch it in Provincetown. So 2 years ago, it was kind of thrown together very well, but very quickly. It was kind of like, okay, we're doing Lesbian Visibility Week in 2 weeks. And it was amazing. The events were amazing. A lot of people came to town for it. And I think also what makes it really special is it's in April. So it's a little more affordable to be in Provincetown, but the weather is still pretty good. And I think it allows a lot more people who want to have a Provincetown experience, especially during a Women's Week, which mostly happen in the summer and fall. It's a really awesome week.
It's going to be a great time. I'm excited about it. It's everything you just said. It is a little bit more affordable. It's also, just a nice way to kick off the season. And your point that, things have been in the past thrown together kind of quickly. That's because bitches get shit done. That's just how it is. We're like, oh, you need it in 2 weeks? No problem. Let me get my duct tape. I'm here for it. It can be done,
Exactly.
I did get lucky, and no one cares about this in the way that no one cares about women's basketball. I'm kidding. But I have the genuine fortune of I got to come to Buffalo, and I didn't realize, because I'm a fair weather hockey fan, I did not realize that the Buffalo Sabres were in the playoffs. And they haven't been in the playoffs for 14 years. And if you know anything about Buffalo, you know that it is a sport town. And so hockey and football are it, and lacrosse. And on the first time I got here, they're playing Boston, they're playing the Bruins. So it was extra special for me because I don't have to be in New England rooting for my hometown team. I get to be in my hometown rooting for my hometown team. And they were losing by 2 goals with 5 minutes left, and they came back and won 4-2. And it was it was incredible. It was a great thing to watch for sports come back. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just vibing in Buffalo, waiting until I come back, helping my sister. But I do want to say, like, have you had any surgeries lately?
No, I've only had surgery once in my life, and I was in second grade.
My sister just got a new hip, and I don't think I don't think I'm violating her privacy here. She needed it. She's gonna feel great when she's done, and she has really great health insurance. Like my brother's-in-law is a veteran and a cop, a corrections officer, right? Like so as far as Americans go, pretty good health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent her home like 2 days later, which I guess is, in one case, they're like, okay, that's great because there's nothing going wrong. We don't need to keep you here, right? But I keep feeling like as I'm like going through these charts and like marking the medicine she's taking, and like she has a very tiny bathroom on the first floor. Everything else is upstairs. And I just had this moment. I was like, wow, is this like this probably cost twice as much as it did 20 years ago, and you're getting half as much from the medical industry to get through a surgery like this, right? Like everyone's like, "Oh, you're in and out in a day." I'm like, "Yeah, but should you be?" Like, I
Right,
understand that
right.
there's a lot of variables to infections in hospitals and all of that, but shouldn't there also be some, I don't know, it feels to me this I dislike it in the way that I dislike self-checkout, where I'm like, this is capitalism having me do more work for no other reason other than they want to save money, right? Like where it doesn't even feel like yes, being in your own home is comfortable, but so is being able to stand up and take 2 steps with your walker to get into a shower that you don't have to
That
climb
has
up. You know what I mean? Like
handrails and
that's prepared for somebody who's in recovery who, most houses aren't ADA compliant. And, it just really got me thinking about, again, the general how little we get from capitalism these days and how they expect us to be grateful for it and how they spin it to make it look like it's a good thing. Oh, you're going to be in and out of there. Yeah, but should you be? You just fucking took out a bone and put a titanium plate in. Let me hang out
right.
here for 2 days, you know?
And not everyone is as privileged to have a sister who could drop things to be able to come and help out.
Yeah, or a husband or a family or, and I
Mhm.
did think about that a lot. I was like, wow, what happens to somebody who, a hip replacement is something that it tends to be older people. And, what happens
Mhm.
if someone doesn't have that support system, right? Like, I don't know, just broken, broken, broken. But I'm excited to be
Mhm.
here. We're having a great time. She's going to listen to this. Hi, Kelly. Hopefully by the time she
Nice.
listens to this, she's gotten a shower, stinky ass. No, good. But I did find
Ugh.
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling at you, but
No, you're good. You're good.
what is your feng shui knowledge?
I mean, this might be me pumping myself up, but I very much think that I have an organic understanding of feng shui. Like
I see. I
where I
see.
want it to be, I feel
Yeah.
that, you know?
Have you ever I do, but have you ever had difficulty sleeping and figured out which direction does your bed face?
So my bed is technically currently breaking feng shui rules
Okay.
because you're kind of supposed to put it, my understanding is that you're kind of supposed to put your bed opposite or not near the door because the door has a lot of energy. So if
That
you
is
put your bed near the door, you're going to feel that energy and have trouble sleeping.
like the energy coming directly in, etc. That is
Mhm.
a component, but another component is the direction your bed faces.
Mm.
Okay, so like south and I forget which is better, but I
Mm.
south is better, and there's another one that's better. So I have, because of the Sass house and because I don't live at the Sass house, I have a bed there and I have a bed at my apartment, right? Like there's a bed that I can use if I need to do coverage at the house or be the grown up that sleeps there. And I sleep so much better in that bed. And when
Hmm.
I got to my sister's house, I was sleeping so much better. And to the point where like my sleeping was so bad that KT went out and bought like like we call it hotel bed. It's like it is literally the Tom Brady of mattresses, right? Like it
Oh,
is
work.
an incredibly comfortable bed. And according to Feng Shui, it faces the wrong direction. And according to Feng
Oh.
Shui, this one here faces south, as does the one
Hmm.
at the Sass house. So I'm actually considering just to see if moving my bed is going to make a difference because I was able
Ooh.
to like nail it down and be like, actually, I do sleep better in these places where these beds are facing south. So I just wanted to give you that little bit of information about
Oh, that's
my
great.
sleep schedule.
Can I tell you the funny
And the
reason why I put my bed on the wrong wall?
I think it's to tie people up, but go ahead.
Okay, never mind. Let's move along. Honestly, you're not wrong.
I've tied up some people in my. I know how this works.
I guess the thing is, like, basically, I have 2 walls that I could put the bed on that are opposite each other in my bedroom, but one of them is the wall I share with the other unit, and I
Can't
know
have
that
that.
that's their bedroom. I know that that's their bedroom because I have a friend who lives upstairs from them, so I know their layout, and I don't want any, like, chains banging against their wall when they're trying to sleep.
That's called being a thoughtful neighbor, and I
Exactly.
think you should be applauded for that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on with you? What are we talking about?
There is some maybe sad, maybe not news in the lesbian sphere, since we were talking about Lesbian Visibility Week. There
Okay.
are some, there's celeb couples within the gay world and within
Of course.
the lesbian world. Yeah.
Lesbians.
Yeah. You think of, like, maybe not anymore, but like Ellen and
Portia.
Why am I blanking on her name? Portia.
Portia.
Like lesbian icons.
And
there is,
I dare say that they are still lesbian icons. They might not be as appreciated as they once were, and maybe she's a bit of a bitch, but it doesn't change the fact that they're kind of iconic to lesbians.
Yeah, totally. But in the sports world, there is one lesbian couple that rises to the top, and that is Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe. If you don't know who they are, Megan Rapinoe is one of the stars of the women's soccer world. She was on the U.S. women's soccer team for probably over a decade, and really what made her as famous as she is now is not only her soccer playing, but also she's very vocal in speaking out against the Trump administration, Republicans, and things like that. And she really blew up because, especially when a strong lesbian woman speaks up, that's going to piss Trump off. So he obviously had to fight back, which really put her in the spotlight. And Sue Bird she played in the WNBA. She was the first draft pick in 2001, and I think she played until 2022. So she is the face of the WNBA over the last 20 years. And they've been together for quite some time. And unfortunately, they announced last week that they were separated.
Always sad to hear when a lesbian couple breaks up, but excited they chose to do it during Lesbian Visibility Week, because that's a great way to bring visibility to lesbians. I think a big high profile breakup is a great way, and also let the lesbians know, hey, we're out there. But I think they're not like they are enmeshed, right? They have a podcast that I think is now like kaput. Like they're breaking up in a way that women who have been together that long that break up like this, somebody did something wrong.
They seem like it's very amicable.
When women have been together that long, it's a very much conscious uncoupling. And these women are like, no, we're done. We're not doing another episode. We're over. And I'm like, who fucked up?
Yeah. They did one episode where they announced their breakup, and then they announced that there'd be 3 more episodes of the podcast where they were going to alternate hosting with co-hosts.
Yeah, not with each other.
Yeah.
Which is, that to me is like such a tell, because what a great opportunity to therapize your breakup and therapize and monetize simultaneously your breakup than doing an episode about your famous lesbian breakup. And they're choosing to not do that, which means somebody cheated or somebody has a boyfriend, and somebody has a boyfriend. It's super.
No, I won't hear it.
Okay.
I hope not. I mean, there's a lot of talk from people saying that they suspect that it was Megan Rapinoe who turned Sue Bird, which I don't think is the case. Sue Bird has talked a lot about her experiences being a queer person even before she came out. She did come out with her relationship with Megan Rapinoe, but she did talk about what it was like to be a closeted queer woman in the WNBA as early as when she was drafted in 2000.
No, I think that the reality is that it's exactly that. It's that there was, particularly with lesbians in the WNBA in the beginning years, there was no acceptance of that, because the concept was it would kill the league, that everyone had to not be that. And so there's no, for people to be like, oh, she turned her, like, you have no idea, because Sue Bird was not allowed, because she played basketball so well, to be her full self in that league.
Yeah, it's one of those crazy things. I mean, the NBA was essentially, I mean, the WNBA was essentially started by the NBA, and their idea of how they were going to market it was like, oh, we're going to market it exactly like the NBA, except with women players. And I'm glad that this idea has gone away a little in many things, including women's basketball, which is not everything has to be marketed first and foremost to straight white men. There can be things that straight white men don't like that are still extremely successful.
Who's going to pay for it? You ever thought about that?
Me, you. But the idea was that she was told she had to stay in the closet to be that all-American pretty white girl so that she could be the face of the league. And that if she came out, not only would it be detrimental to her career, but it would be detrimental to women's basketball, the league, and to all other women's basketball players. And to put that kind of responsibility onto someone's shoulders and force them to stay closeted is abusive and insane.
And for all the progress we've made, they did it again to Caitlyn Clark.
I mean, we'll see.
I know.
But like, maybe, who
I'm
knows?
just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an insult to call somebody a lesbian, so it's not an insult.
I agree. Exactly. And also it seems like they're telling her that she can't be vocally and explicitly not racist for the league.
Really? I didn't hear about this.
I mean, there is a lot of racism from the fans of Indiana Fever and from fans of Caitlyn Clark. And I don't think a lot of them aren't fans of women's basketball. They needed a straight white player from middle America to get behind so they can use her as a shield to be racist to all the other primarily Black women athletes and a lot of queer women. And I don't know, if people were wearing your name across their back while being racist, how long would it take you to tell them to go fuck themselves?
I would definitely be telling them to go fuck themselves because at this point they've already bought the jersey.
Yeah, it would take me 5 seconds to be like, actually, no, this won't be happening in my name. And it's been years of her not saying anything. So I feel like at this point she's complicit.
Well, boo. And
exactly.
Hey, Sue Bird, you should come to Lesbian Visibility Week. Or Megan, I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Come on over. Make it, you know what, you need a vacation. But like, one of you just tell me you're coming. Don't both come at the same time because town's not big enough.
There's already going to be enough drama. I'm just kidding.
You will be running into each other on the streets. This is not the time for that. But whichever one of you gets to me first, I'll make sure to save you a Dune tour.
Perfect,
come to Lesbian Visibility Week and hang out, recover, lick your wounds, and whatever else you need to lick to get over it.
Hey.
That was my heartfelt plea.
It's a good plea. I think that'll work.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Did you hear that Caitlyn Jenner was back in the news this week?
I think I know what you're going to say, but I want to hear you say it.
Okay. So the Trump administration, in their first go round, and now as the Trump administration is back in office, obviously they have made trans people a target in so many ways. And a lot of the ways that they're making them a target is by simply making their lives more difficult. They push trans people out of the military. And another big thing they did was United States identification when it comes to your licenses and your passports. What they've done is they've made it the law that the gender on your passport and driver's license has to be in line with your birth certificate. And as everyone knows, Caitlyn Jenner is a trans woman, and she is also a admitted Republican and friend of Donald Trump. Basically, she applied to get her passport again, and when she received it, she noticed there was a mistake on it, and that under gender, there was an M where there should have been an F. And she was like, oh, there's a mistake. So she filled out the forms to say that there had been a mistake made on her passport, sent it back in. They sent her another passport back with an M gender marker on it again. And when she started investigating, she realized that this is, in fact, the policy set in place by the Trump administration. And what do so many Republicans who want all of this legislation to happen to make people's lives worse, when it comes to be that it's actually making their lives worse, what do? They say
they call somebody.
Yeah, they say I should be an exception. And that's exactly what Caitlyn Jenner did. She called up her good friend, President Donald Trump, and President Donald Trump said he's going to see what he can do for his good friend, Caitlyn Jenner.
Is that what you heard? Because I heard he was not returning her calls. I read that she reached out and has not heard anything back, which to me tracks way more. That like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, we told you that this was going to happen. Number one. Number two, we told you that he was going to take advantage of anything he could possibly take advantage of. But it is such a wealthy person thing to do. Be like, oh no, they don't mean me. This isn't for me. These rules aren't for me. These rules are for young, poor trans people who are trying to survive. It's not for me.
Yeah.
She actually was having difficulty traveling to my understanding, because she clearly doesn't present what one would assume that gender marker would look like, right? I hate that anyone has to go through this, but I'm in the process of booking travel for Sass. And oftentimes now the discussion is, do you need a bus or a train and not a plane ticket, just for general safety, to not have to feel like you could run into troubles with TSA or things that happen at the airport.
Yeah.
So it is nice to have someone, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't ever want to applaud a trans person having a struggle, but I do want to applaud a detached, wealthy person having to deal with the same things that the rest of us have to deal with.
And that they're advocating for other people having to deal with.
Yeah, donating,
Like,
and yes, most certainly
Caitlyn Jenner
being
supported Trump.
oblivious.
Yeah, exactly. And this is not the first time that Republicans feel like they're above the laws that they've created to make people's lives worse. There has been a wife of a Republican lawmaker in Florida who was pregnant and had something, I'm not sure if it was exactly an ectopic pregnancy, but something where the pregnancy was no longer viable. And if they continued with the pregnancy, it would not only put the life of the baby in danger, but also the life of the mother. And she was like, well, I need an abortion. And they were like, you can't get one in the state of Florida. And she's like, but I should be able to get one.
I know somebody somewhere. And I mean,
right.
I also want to be clear that like everybody's you got to have a guy, right? Like this. I'm somebody who goes through the world who's a little bit like, I got to have a guy. You need a guy. You need a guy. You got to have good relationships. You've got to go through the world making contacts and networking. And I completely understand. And I get that. But also, you've got to have some ethics too, right? Like
it's like, it's the golden rule. And not to be like pedantic, but it's like, treat others the way you want to be treated. And if you think other people should be treated that way, and then you get treated that way, and now it's a problem, bad.
Boo.
And this
All right, well,
does go
yeah.
against my personal golden rule, which is, like I said, it's treat others the way you want to be treated. And my golden rule is treat others the way they deserve to be treated. But this is not a case where I think that. There's a lot of people that think because Caitlyn Jenner is this bad person, that she deserves to be misgendered and for her pronouns not to be respected. Which is like, it's yes, that would insult Caitlyn Jenner, who is a bad person, but you also have to decide who the person is you want to be. And regardless of whether people are good or bad people, whether people are good or bad people, that does not hinge the fact of whether they should be respected, their gender, their pronouns.
In the same way that, it doesn't take, like, I don't have to like or agree with a trans person to believe they should have all of their rights.
Fully,
it's very
exactly.
simple, right? Like that is kind of, lends back to the feminism of it all, right? Where like only nice women, you have to be nice. I don't think that's true. I think you can be however you want to be, and you should still deserve your basic human rights.
I actually prefer my women not nice. Don't be nice.
I trust not nice women more.
But I guess what I mean when I say that is like,
honest.
women are taught to be nice so that they can be safe. And so often that niceness can lead to them getting in more trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. It is definitely something that I needed to understand more as someone who goes through the world in the body that I go through the world in, which could be anything. No one knows what's going on in here. I get sirred more often than I get ma'amed. Whether it's just my voice on the phone, whether it's just my presence, whatever. And there were times when I was a younger, less informed lesbian who I've always dated women who were a bit more feminine than I am. not a hard thing to be. And times when, and they've always been very attractive, and times when a guy says something to them and I'm like, why don't you tell him to fuck off? And they're like, it's not that simple. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not that simple? Just you fucking tell him fuck off. And I could say that because rarely do they want to fuck me, right? So the women always, so just understanding the way that women go through the world and navigate their safety. And that's why we always choose the bear,
right?
Because men are crazy.
Speaking of women not being nice and me loving it, did you hear the Chappell Roan situation that we talked about a few weeks back was recently back in the news?
I did not hear it was recently back in the news. I did hear that whoever the soccer player star was like, hey, everybody fucking relax. Chappell's people reached out to me. They weren't acting on her behalf. They were just doing their security thing. I heard that. Is there more?
Yeah, no, that is what put it back in the news, which is so frustrating. Basically, this created a situation in his head that he had no details of, threw it into the universe on the internet, let thousands and thousands of people use this made-up experience that he created in his head, allowed thousands of people to use that experience to attack this young queer woman, and it ran wild. And now that it's not in the news anymore, he's going to post a statement like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that I guess it wasn't true. And I feel like the apology has to be as loud as the initial statement.
So I don't think I understood that the soccer player was the person who initially posted it. I think I felt like someone else had posted it who saw it happen.
No, it was the soccer player who broke the story.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying like all you idiots fell for the this smear campaign of Chappell Roan. And I'm just like, I need everyone to take a big step back. A world famous celebrity's security told some kid to buzz off. Who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? It's like the fact that anyone heard that story and immediately was like, that's an awful person and she doesn't deserve to have anyone like her music, and she doesn't deserve to be famous, and she doesn't deserve to be rich because her security told some kid to buzz off. It's insane to me.
Women have to be nice.
Exactly. It's so messed up.
It all comes back to that. But also, we live in a world where clickbait is a thing. And if you have anything, whether it's true or not, I mean, at this point, I do my best to fact check anything, right? And so you see a reel or you see a TikTok and then you Google it. And then if the only thing that comes up is the Hindu Times and TikTok and Facebook, it's not real, right? But there's no longer just, oh, did you hear what so-and-so said? Now it's like, there's so much. I do believe that it's the beginning of the end of social media the way we know it because of that. It's just too unreliable at this point. Like there's just so many different stories that are bullshit just for clicks that I think maybe it's the beginning of the end.
But also it's like, I feel like our culture and our society, people are so rabid to tear down specifically women when they're at the top of their game.
Yeah.
It's like Chappell Roan a year ago was the biggest celebrity ever in the world, breaking crowd records because people were so enamored by her image and her like pop sensibility, these songs that made them feel good. And that now it's like those same exact people want nothing more than to tear her down. People love to put women on a pedestal and then shake it until they fall.
And we learned nothing from Brittany or Lindsay or Paris.
There's also this idea that people in the spotlight are meant to be entirely consumed. Like Chappell Roan is talented, smart, creative, gorgeous, an incredible performer, and she has to be nice while she's eating breakfast in a hotel? Like, there isn't a single person anyone knows who is nice all the time. Why do celebrities have to be nice all the time? Your best friend isn't nice all the time. Your sister isn't nice all the time. Your mother isn't nice all the time. Your dad isn't nice all the time. Your brother isn't nice all the time. Why are celebrities entirely torn down for having one moment where they aren't nice?
I mean, I think that is just a direct result of the cell phone age, right? Like, I think that there is now, because, not that it's correct, but what's happening is that anyone anywhere has literally a paparazzi level camera, like obviously not, but like you could get a good solid video from pretty far away. And so the whole dynamic of going through the world has changed. And so, you know, it used to be you would have to walk through the 20 or 30 people, which are still there. But now on top of that, anywhere you go, someone might just be taking a quick shot, you know, and taking it out of context and then AIing something to go with it and putting it on the internet, because if people click on that, they're going to get paid for that. I mean, we've really commodified the human existence in a way that is wild to me, and hopefully over soon.
Yeah. I mean, did you see just to like add another example, did you see Sabrina Carpenter was performing at Coachella and some woman close to the front was making this shout noise and Sabrina was taken aback by it. She's like, what was that? She was like, oh, it's this thing. It's part of my culture. It's this celebratory thing that we do within my culture. And she was kind of thrown off guard and she goes, oh, that's weird. And then moved along her set. And now she's racist and ethnically and culturally insensitive and should never be on a stage again. I'm like, y'all.
I honestly thought you were going to talk about Madonna. I thought you were going to talk about Madonna. You're like, and then Madonna, and then everyone ripped her up. And I was like, no, okay.
But I mean, not surprised.
Yeah. No, I didn't see the Sabrina thing. Do we have a QT of the week this week?
I didn't pick one. Did you?
Here we go. Our QT of the week, the European Union's top court.
Hell yeah.
They ruled that the Viktor Orban reforms breached EU rules on a number of levels, and significantly that it also broke the founding values of Article 2 of the EU Treaty, an unprecedented finding. The ECJ ruled that the Hungarian law interfered with rights such as a ban on discrimination based on sex and sexual orientation, respect for private and family life, and freedom of expression and information. The law also stigmatized and marginalized people who were transgender or not heterosexual and associated them with people convicted of pedophilia, the court found. So the Hungarian law was, quote, contrary to the very identity of the union as a common legal order in a society in which pluralism prevails. Okay, EU Supreme Court, which is basically what they're saying, is like, no, that's a crazy law. You can't do that. You're taking people's rights away, and we don't do that here.
Yeah, I really hope someone does
for the
that.
EU.
I hope someone does that after Trump gets impeached in a few months. Like undo everything
happens.
because yeah.
We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. All right. Well, I think we did it. Did we do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me record from the attic where I smoke weed with grown children.
You're back in P-Town for the duration after this, right?
Yep. Sassers get here soon. We've got, yep. Topless tours start soon. Actually, I think Katie did our first one yesterday. The Foxy Variety Hour is coming along. So there'll be a new show to announce soon. And then I have some other things that I'm scheming for, but I can't tell you yet. But I should have some big news soon also on that front.
Ooh, so
ideally,
exciting.
Big news. It would be cool if I could get this big news out before the end of Lesbian Visibility Week. Fun things on the horizon. New shows, new projects, new Sassers. I'm booking all their travel today. That's what I've been doing today, is making sure that they're all getting here. They're all going to get here May 21st and 22nd. So yeah, I don't know. Just kind of having a great time as the world burns.
Truly.
Highly recommend. Focus local.
That's very true. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends, follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
Go over to YouTube and tell these crazy religious right people that they're crazy religious right people, because that seems to be where they like to comment on our clips, is on YouTube.
Yeah, we got a lot of nasty comments.
I have a thick skin for it. I don't know how Harrison feels about it. I have been an outspoken fat dyke at the Deep South fighting for queer rights. So there's not much you can say to me. As long as I have a hot girlfriend, there's not much you can say to me. That throws me off my game. But how about you? Are you getting all right there, bud?
I always thought I had a thick skin. I was like, why do the celebrities care about the nasty comments? Just ignore them. And then I got one nasty comment on Wake Up a few years ago and I fell apart.
Melted down.
Fell apart. Yeah.
People say terrible things.
My favorite
when they can hide
comment
themselves.
on the 5 years. Yeah. Someone commented on a video of Wake Up in Provincetown. Harrison, what's with the gut?
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Love you.
Bye. See you next week. Love you, queerly.
Queer is dead.